World is complete. I'm going to add something called value to my objects. And it tends to be easiest to start with the objects that have faces, flat areas on them, like the cube, your prisms. Those are good places to start. And when you add value, you're adding light and dark areas to the object. That's why the flat ones are easier to do first. So, for example, we have this cube. We have to figure out where our light is coming from, and it needs to be the same for all of your objects since they're all in the same place. So I'm going to start with him, right smack in the center. One side of your object should be light. So I'm making the top of my cube light. One side should be medium, so I'm going to go a little bit darker with it. And then one side should be dark, where you take that crayon or colored pencil and you go as dark as you can with it. And if you need to, you can also layer on another color. You can look at the color wheel, find what's beside the color that you're using that is darker, and you can also layer that on top of it to create a little more contrast. You can see it better. So I have light, medium, dark. And actually on that green side, I think I'm gonna do just that. So blue is beside green. Blue is a little darker. So I'm going to add just a little bit of blue on here, and we can see it a little better. And inside the box, it's probably gonna be dark as well, because it's not getting a lot of light. So I will take that and color it pretty heavily. And I'll make sure to put the blue in there too. That way you can clearly see your edges. Your edges should be really clean. All right, let's try another one over here. This one only has two faces showing. So you pick your value. It could be one is dark, one is medium. It could be one is light, one is dark. So since this is the top and it's light, this is the top, I'll make that light. And it doesn't all have to be the same color. So let me switch. We'll pretend the green's not on there. So I'm coloring really lightly, trying to go around my little people too. And then on this side, it's going to be much darker. I'm making sure I still have a clean edge. That's why I traced it first. And those of you who are up for a challenge, you can always add a little bit of a shadow, more of a shadow, where you have objects coming out of it. Like I could put a darker shadow down here where the tube is. All right, that's how you do flat objects. Now, round objects are a little more difficult, so let's go to the cone next. Let's say I want my cone to have stripes on it, just to make it a little more complicated. Still need to have the light be the same side as what you put on your other objects, light source coming from the same direction. But in this case, it has to slowly change from dark to light, and that is called gradation. That's the slow change from dark to light. So I'll start out dark over here, and then as I go across, I'm going to slowly ease up pressure until it gets really light on the end, and that makes the object look round. And since I made it striped, I'll skip up here, start dark. So I go across, make it light. And I'll do that for the next color too. So dark, ease up to light. Now my cone looks like a cone. All right, cylinders. They're a little more complex because they have a face. Over here, there's a face. And then over here, it's round. So this is going to be the dark side on my cylinder. Let's switch colors. So I'll get the easy part done first. So this whole part, the face, will be dark on mine because of the direction it's pointing. Okay, Now on the side, it's going to work just like our little cone friend over here, where it starts out dark, and then as you go up, you ease up pressure. And it has to kind of stay the same for the whole side of the object. So I started out dark, and it's not just a dark line. You have to make it slowly change from dark to light. You're not just tracing it. And then I get up here, fade it out. And that makes it look round. And last but not least, the sphere. So my little sphere friend, that's where kids have a little trouble. You cannot just go up and down and make a straight line when you're adding your value, because then it won't look like a sphere. It will look flat as a pancake. That is not our mission. So light source is coming this way. That means this is going to be the dark side. So on the dark side, I'm going to make a C. And if you need to, turn your page. And then from that C, you're going to make dark value. And then you slowly get lighter as you pull away from it. So turn your page as needed. It's art class. It doesn't have to just stay one direction. And slowly gets lighter and lighter. Over here I can kind of make it medium and then make it lighter so we get closer to the top. And if you do it right, your flat circle now looks like a sphere. And if you have any tubes or anything, you're going to follow the same rules that we used on your cylinders, where it starts out dark and then it gets lighter as you pull away.